All right, what is up, YouTube? It's Robert Falco here from Real Life Trading with your Monday stock review for November the 15th. Here we had a nice gap up this morning on the SPY, faded a little bit, and then we had this big drop right here, and then the rest of the day we pretty much stayed within that 5-minute candle for hours, so that was kind of interesting. So overall, pretty flat day on the S&P 500, relative to Friday's close. It's only Monday, so it's the beginning of the week, but weekly gap, just an inside gap. I do think that the market still is in a bullish trend, obviously. We bounced off the 10. If we do have some type of pullback, I think that's cool, but I think all dips are going to be bought. So plan accordingly. Here's a little bit of a longer term target. 491 based off some fib extensions on the SPX longer term. Here's the QQQ, very similar to SPY. It did actually gap above this upper wick, which I thought was pretty bullish, but it just did not hold immediate. You had a nice little hammer. It looked like we were going to go higher and then immediate selling. Again, that big 5-minute drop that happened intraday and then just kind of hung out within that range for most of the day on the Qs. But I do think that this resting has allowed the RSI to come in a little, which is nice. So if we do start to continue higher, we're not as overextended, so to speak. Here's the IWM. IWM is breaking out of this channel that it's been in for most of 2021. I would like to see a retest, and I will add to a IWM position that I have and have had for a little bit longer term. So I think that looks good. Let's go over to RIVN. I know this is the talk of the town. It's been fun to day trade. I would trade it on consolidation, pick up some shares, and then, if it breaks out, great. If it breaks down, you can bail. But I wouldn't want to take breakouts on this because then it gets really spready. Don't short a rocket ship if you can even find shorts on this, which I don't think you really can very easily. But I wouldn't short it. The valuation's insane, but that doesn't matter. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And there's not even options on this. Imagine once options are out on this, the gamma squeeze that could go on with RIVN. So I would stay long. I don't personally own any shares of it. I've day traded it a couple times, always to the long side. And we'll see what happens when options come out. But valuation's insane. But all you have to do is show people the YouTube video of the truck doing some tank turns. And it's pretty cool. And people want to buy it. So yeah, long on RIVN until further notice. Open Door, we had a request for this one. Open Door looks a little bit like an inverted head and shoulders. Not really on the weekly there, but the daily, you do have a little pennant pattern, and I don't know. We'll see what happens on Open Door. I know that Zillow closed down that end of their business, so Open Door, they have less competition, but does that prove that this business model is just not working? I don't know. I think it's still time will tell. So it responded okay to earnings. You have a little bit of a squeeze here. If you want to try and buy the dip somewhere in this area and see if it'll trade back up into 25, 26. But my stop would be down below this candle in the $19, $19.10 area. Personally, I'm not in Open Door. I'm not looking to be, but I do think that I would play it bullish if I was. And that's where my stop would be, and just figure out how much you want on a retest, or if you want like half on a breakout, half on a retest, something like that on open. Matic. So you had a nice little pennant pattern squeezing here. Looks like we might be breaking down. In crypto, doesn't really have gaps. I drew this fib. It was kind of just back of the envelope, real quick, this fib extension. It actually looks pretty nice. So if we can get back above this dollar, 78 and change, I think we could make it back up towards this next, this 2.272. A lot of twos in there. Hard to pronounce that one, but this 2.272 has been pretty solid resistance. This fib actually looks pretty good. Otherwise, we are probably going to come back towards this 1.272. So a little support there, resistance there. We'll see what happens on Matic. Tilray, I do think the weed stocks could have a little bit of a move left in them. Had some nice volume, good reversal in here. Today was just, a little bit extended. There's a lot of bag holders on all of these pot stocks, and we traded into a little bit of resistance and faded, but I don't think that the move is necessarily done yet. So here's Tilray. If we take out this candle and a lot of the sellers in here, I do think we could continue a little bit higher. Just know it's not going to be the easiest trade because there are so many bag holders in all of these weed stocks that just want their money back or just want to get out for a XYZ loss, whatever their number is. Lower the better, but could squeeze a little bit. Sundial, I don't usually review penny stocks. I don't trade penny stocks. I think there's other places that you can find trades. But someone asked about this one. You did have this gap up. You have a nice high wave candle. And today's an inside candle. So if you want to take a breakout of these two candles back above the 200, I get it. I mean, you can buy a lot of shares of a 83-cent stock. And I mean, heck, even if you bought a couple hundred shares and just said, hey, here's what would that be? Every 100 shares is what? $83? I mean, it's hard to even do the math on these things when they're so low. So if you want to buy a couple hundred shares and just say, hey, here's few $100, and if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. Otherwise, if it goes higher, great. Maybe this thing could squeeze a little bit, but you do have a nice high wave candle on some volume on earnings, inside candle. If it does gap up or squeeze out of this, 90, and I really don't like looking at these, 91.46, so 91.5 cents. If we get back above there, it could end up going, heck, even a couple thousand shares, is not a lot of money. So that's Sundial. That's my thoughts on the weed sector. I do think that it could get a little bit of a squeeze and continuation higher. Just going to be tough with all the bag holders. So that is your quick Monday stock review. Don't forget to check us out at reallifetrading.com and leave in the comments down below which stocks you would like us to review in the future. Thank you so much. Don't forget to love life, live life, and trade it. Bye-bye.